What's up, YouTube? It's the AZ392. Stand behind me is the 2023 Dodge Demon that I just purchased, and I want to clear some things up and explain to you guys why I even bought this car. The first reason why I bought this thing was just the deal was too good. I got this thing for such a great price, and I was able to do it in a way where I thought that I was going to make a lot of money, and I thought it would be a lot easier than it was just to do a quick flip. But I got it listed on a few places, and that's what I'm trying to really do with it, is just trying to sell it to somebody who's going to be able to collect it and put it somewhere that I can't, because right now it's kind of taking up a lot of garage space, and I was kind of hoping to make a few bucks on it. But that's kind of the main reason why I bought the 170. It was an awesome car, and I was able to get it for just such a great price, so that's the main reason. And guys, so if you don't know, I've done this before with a few other things. I've resold a couple TRXs, I've resold a couple Jeep 392s before, so it's nothing new to me. I just got a great deal on this. I saw it on Facebook one day, and I talked him down like 30 grand from what he was asking for it originally. So it was just a great deal all around, and it's a high spec 170, so it's like an MSRP of like 133. And I know there's a lot of talk about, yo, the top speed's not 200, there's cost cutting things, there's this, there's that. But guys, you gotta understand that Dodge has to make this car safe for people to drive. Yeah, it's a cool car, it definitely can go over 200, and a lot of people talk about the drive shaft being not upgraded, but the drive shaft is impacted by the torque on the car, like on the overall torque. When you're sending it all 1,000 horsepower to the rear, and that drive shaft is able to hold up at that speed, I'm pretty sure it can hold up going from 150 to 200. That just wouldn't make sense. But those are like the small things. I know it sucks, like 149 top speed. And yeah, I wish I could say that, you know, it's higher than that, but it's not. And you still get what you get. You can always take the governor off and do what you want to do after that. Obviously, it probably wouldn't be safe, but the car's already not safe. I just think that Dodge has to put a speedometer or speed limiter on the car just to make it so people don't just go off one day and crash in it. So some other cool things, like I'm still able to have this thing, so it's a cool thing to just go in the garage. I kept 16 miles on, so when I bought it at the dealership, I flew all the way to Rockwall, Texas. I purchased this thing, and I took delivery of it like 2 weeks later after my check cleared and everything. But since then, I haven't put a single mile on it since it's been at the dealership showroom floor. If anything, I've cleaned the entire thing, front to bottom, wheels, underneath it. And that's what I was a little disappointed in too. I want to talk to you guys about. So I bought the car, I flew to Dallas, Rockwall, and the car had 11 miles. So on like the purchase order sheet, when I signed it, it had 11 miles. So when I took delivery of it 2 weeks later, it came with, and I made sure when I spoke to the shipping company, I was like, make sure you take a picture of the mileage just so we know how much miles it got, and because he needed to take it off a few times. So I was like, I'm okay with that. Just take a picture of the mileage, send it to me. He took a picture of it, sent it to me. It was at 16 miles. So I was like, someone must have drove it. That was 5 miles. And it kind of pissed me off. So I texted the dealership. I was like very frustrated. Like, I'm glad I was able to get this amazing deal on the car. But, you know, the car came with 5 more miles on it than I had originally bought it with. And I want to know why. So, you know, and then their whole thing, you know, they're going to give you that whole rundown of the bullshit. And that's kind of what he texted me. So after that, I was like, you know, have a good day. Thank you for the car. Just please, I'm not going to work with you ever again. Because it's those small little things that kind of irritate me into like not making a deal in the future going on. Guys, so then when the shipper got here, after he took a photo of the mileage, it still said 16. So then I was really concerned. I was like, yo, he took this car off and on the trailer a few times, and it didn't move a single mile. So obviously, when the dealership had it in their possession for that 2 weeks while the check was clearing, they did drive it. And you know, you gotta bite the bullet on that. I don't really know what I could do from there on out about like saying anything, so I didn't really say too much on that because that's kind of it. But since then, I kept it in 16 miles. I've cleaned the entire thing front to bottom, like I said before, and I'll show you guys like some of the options I got. Like, you know, I got the sunroof, which was a big expensive option, and yeah, it might not be the most important feature, but when people are paying over for it, that high MSRP was just something that was already going to be paid for. So I was able to even talk him down more from the price that he was talking on over. So that's kind of that. but it's still a beautiful car, and I love staring at it. Guys, so the car is absolutely beautiful. On the camera, I told you it looks red. It's actually in this Go Mango orange. So when you come in person and see it, it's a lot more like vibrant, stick out. And it's just beautiful. I love it. I cleaned every inch and I checked every single spec to make sure there was no imperfections in the paint. Make sure everything was crystal clear, perfect. And as you can tell, I didn't really know at first, but it came with this carbon fiber deck lid. And it's nice, but if you feel them, it's like so, it feels so thin. Kind of like the paint, not gonna lie. But I know some people spec'd it out with like the hood, this part, and the back, and all the carbon fiber, which would have been an insane option. And I didn't get the carbon wheels, wasn't able to get those on this order. But I heard that it's like $50,000 to just order them. If you scratch one of them, you can't just replace one of them, you have to replace the whole set. So that's kind of the big downside of the carbon wheels. But I love the car, guys, and I don't really know what I'm gonna do with it from here on out. Like I said, I'm trying to sell it. I got a great price on it. So if you guys do want to buy it, I mean, I garage keep it. I just bought a car cover for it, so that's gonna be getting put on pretty here shortly. And I mean, I clean it probably like once a day. Like I just come in the garage, clean this thing. I love staring at it. I started it up before, it's insanely loud. It set the smoke detectors off in my garage from just how much ethanol and stuff is in the fuel, which is the most annoying thing ever because the alarms go off for like 5 minutes and you can't shut them off. But I seriously am in love with this car. I know I didn't remove the yellow bumper stickers, and I was just like, I'm selling the car and I want someone else to be able to do the honors of all that stuff, even if it looks cheesy or not. Like in my opinion, if I bought a car, I would want to do all that stuff myself to it, like remove it and make sure I did it myself. And it helps for like when we're shipping the car, if it's got to go on like a trailer or anything, it definitely protects that front splitter from like scraping up or anything. Seriously, I just come in the garage every morning. I was up at like 4 o'clock this morning working, and I came in the garage at like 5. I was like, the urge to just get in this thing and drive it around. But I've test drove and I've driven a 800 horsepower jailbreak Challenger similar to this. And when I tell you, it was the most scary and butt-clenching thing I have ever done in my life, guys. It was so fast. I would step on it, just like a quarter throttle pull going around like 60 miles an hour. And these back tires would be spinning out, shaking. And then, it would be cool because like you'd pucker up a little bit because this thing would spin and then you would straighten out. And it would be going like 60 down the 101. And I mean, a pretty scary thing with only 800 horses. And I honestly don't even think I was using the red key at the time. So that thing was only at like 500 horses and it was still fast. And I'm like, this thing with 1,000 horsepower on the drag radials. Oh my God, on like a cold day like today, I mean, these things gotta be like hockey pucks driving down the street. You know, it's gotta be like the most unsafe thing to just step on right away. But I definitely wanna go and drive it. But guys, I got mine up for sale. You can shoot me some offers. I'm open to anything. Like anything you guys wanna offer me, you can. If you guys got a cool trade-in, I'm down for that too, but it's gotta be worth it. But that was like the most important reason why I bought the 170. It was more for just the investment thing of it, and just I was in it for such a good price that I knew that no matter what I was doing with it, I was gonna make money. Even if it was just a tiny amount, like 5 grand or 10 grand, I'm still down to make it because it's still cool to have in my garage. And I love looking at it, starting it up. Like it makes me happy every morning coming in here and just seeing it. Seeing it with the TRX too. It's just a cool little combination to have. Like I like seeing the features that this one has, that the TRX doesn't, like the upgraded forged built engine. I mean, it's such a art piece just to open up and look at. Guys, and I'm not one of those people who are marking these things up crazy. If you look on eBay right now, you can find this thing. I'm like one of the cheapest right now in the nation to buy right now with the lowest miles, highest MSRP. And you guys see I'm garage keeping this thing. Yeah, I rev it up, but if you look at my rev videos and everything, guys, sometimes I'm sarcastic. Like I make jokes of things. Like I'm not being super serious. Like when the black smoke was coming out, the car was already warmed up. Like you guys gotta understand. Like I know the car. Like I asked you guys a lot of questions because you guys do know a lot more than I do. in a ton of areas. So that's why I come to YouTube and stuff to ask you guys. But I do not abuse this thing, guys. I'm not revving it on a cold start. Like, yeah, I started up and revved it right away, but you guys didn't see 15 minutes ago, or 15 minutes beforehand, I had the thing running for like 15 minutes, and I made sure the oil temperature was all at like 140 degrees and everything, making sure it was all cooking and everything, and pressure was right. But that's kind of it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I just wanted to clear some things up and why I bought the Demon 170 and like what I'm gonna do about it in the future. So you guys might see it, you might not. I definitely want to make some videos on it, just driving it around before I sell it or anything. But guys, this is it. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video and it cleared up some things for you guys. But don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope all you guys have a blessed and amazing day, and stay safe.